Tell us a little about yourself and what motivated you to run for office.
So I grew up in Long Island, New York. I attended all my schooling out there. I ended up going to med school out there. And then I met my wife. Her family, which is from Michigan, ended up moving into the Kansas City area. We had our boy in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we finished up our training for OBGYN. And we decided to move out to Lee Summit to be closer to family, and this city was really attractive to us with the space and the schools and everything. So we moved here about 5 years ago, and I worked for a private practice, and then they got purchased by Truman Medical Center, so we started our own practice with St. Luke's East. And so we started that 3 years ago, and it's been very successful. I think we just did our 20,000th birth for St. Luke's East, as far as over the whole history of St. Luke's East. But so it's been a great experience here. We're digging our roots deep, and we want to stay here, and it's given me the opportunity now to get more involved in city government and be a part of this on a level that I don't think I had the opportunity to do before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. How will you balance serving your district with service to our city?
So being a council member for District 3, I believe I am the voice and for that district, and I have to support them and bring up their concerns and be a presence for them as far as that goes. As far as on the city level, District 3 is only a part of the city, and I have to make decisions that are better for the whole on that part. So I think it's important to weigh the concerns of my district and bring it to the council, as well as explain some of the decisions that the council makes to my district, and try to make it a cohesive unit and make sure everybody's happy with what we're doing.
Okay. The city charter clearly defines the relationship between city council and city staff. Please describe how you envision your working relationship with city staff.
I've attended some council meetings, and I've been very impressed with Steve Arbo and some of the other city staff members. I believe they're very experienced, and I believe the role of council is to guide them and to give some oversight. There to support them and help them do their job, and to give them the guidance and to kind of give them a place to go as far as when there's this things that aren't essentially working with what council decides to do.
Okay. What do you consider major challenges and priorities for Lee Summit, and how will you address?
I believe our school systems are some of the best in the KC Metro, if not in the Missouri as a state. I think it's important that we support that and help them grow, make sure that they have the funding they need for the schools and for the teachers and other staff there. I also think that public safety and first responders need to be supported as well, and to make sure that their jobs are competitive on a salary level with some of the other areas, and to make sure we retain those people and we support people with experience, and it just makes it a safer city for us. So I also would like to see some of the environmental aspects of the city raise awareness on carbon use and waste in the city as well.
Okay. Do you believe the economic development Do you believe economic development should be a primary focus of city council? Why or why not?
I think part of city council's job is to be a steward of the funds of the city. And if we can grow that base and grow the revenue for the city, I think that helps us fund all the projects that we're trying to and support all the things I mentioned earlier. So supporting and helping develop economic development in the city is something that we should be a part of. Yeah.
Okay. Does the current economic development incentive policy provide appropriate tools for sustainable growth, economic growth?
I believe some incentive policies are very helpful. Just recently, attending a council meeting, one was brought up about assisting a shopping center with a blight issue that they had in the city. And I found it very interesting on how that was being executed by increasing the sales tax in that shopping center alone. I think incentives like that help areas that are dealing with some economic issues and some blight. I think it's a way for the city council and staff to have an influence on what's going on there and to help support the area. I do have concerns about economic incentives luring in new businesses and maybe giving up too much if it were some major, tax abatement or things like that. But I think that's a case-by-case basis. I think it's important to support the growth of the city economically without giving away the farm.
Okay. When would economic incentives and enhancements be appropriate?
I think, like I mentioned earlier, I think supporting the businesses that are here now and helping them have the funds or just our support as far as helping them grow and to sustain and luring in newer businesses here. Sometimes incentives can be helpful as far as when competing with surrounding districts.
How does Lee Summit continue to be the place to live, work, and play?
I'm living that now, actually, yeah. Living here for 5 years, we've really enjoyed the way that Lee Summit's laid out and the park system. It's a great place to work. My commute to work's 8 minutes, and it's something that makes my life really easy, gives me a lot of time home with my family. And like I said, between the entertainment options here, the thriving downtown, and the parks, recreation center, it's very attractive, I think, to incoming families that are looking to move here. And for people here, I don't know why anyone would want to leave. It's been great.
Okay. Cooperation, diplomacy, and mutual respect are necessary to ensure the appropriate process established by our charter and existing ordinances. What leadership experience do you have that has helped you prepare for the level of professionalism required of council members?
I've been on the medical executive committee for St. Luke's East for 4 years. My chair role as in OBG in the women's health department just finished in January. So I've been a leader there for the majority of the time that I've been in Lee Summit. I'm also the director and the founder of our practice. So I've learned a lot in doing that, and I think I do thrive on some level in a leadership role. Yeah.
Okay. What is Lee Summit's role in supporting and contributing to the cultural arts?
I think cultural arts, if we're talking the musical acts that we bring in, art projects, the things that happen on the downtown area, I think that really give life to a city. It's not all about the dollars and cents and the business side of everything. I think what happens here on the weekends and the stuff that really increases the quality of life in a city are worth the support. And I think sometimes you can't rely on altruism and donations alone, and the city, by giving some of the funds to help support that, I think do create a better standard here that is worth supporting.
Okay. How does Lee Summit maintain and continue to improve its remarkable amenities such as parks, cultural arts, and wide variety of entertainment options?
So I believe kind of the status quo as far as where things are now are pretty amazing. I think if we can allow more support, and as the city grows, I think we'll need more options for more people. But funding Parks and Rec, the new ice rink is great. That just came in. I think that by allowing support for these areas, do make this an attractive place to live, and will draw in more people. So, yeah.
Okay. Please explain your understanding of workforce development and how we best leverage.
Workforce development?
Yes.
I believe that by allowing a business-friendly environment and attracting new businesses and helping retain the businesses that are here now and help them grow is an important way for us to allow this city to thrive and develop in ways that we all want it to. I'm not. Is there a way to elaborate on that question? Probably not. Yeah. That would be
no.
fair. Yeah.
No.
But by workforce development, I assume that's what you're meaning. So. Yeah, I think that's all I have on that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is your vision for the Lee Summit Airport?
Being in our district, I've seen the expansion of the Lee Summit Airport, and some of the jets are flying right over my house. It's bittersweet in the sense of I think initially I had fears that the expansion of the runway was going to allow some sort of commercial airline issue there, where it was going to make it really tough on people in Lakewood and the northern parts when they're using that runway like that. The more I looked into it, and I think that's part of the reason why I ended up looking into running for city council, was that having a municipal airport like this and allowing that expansion allowed jets to come in that could actually lure in some larger corporations that would make an economic boom for the city. So I understand why the airport's there and why it's important to support the airport now. I go to the open houses there. I think it's something where if we were to support it economically, I think developing the infrastructure of the actual airport would be important. Some sort of conference room, or just making that area look nicer. But I do like when the World War II biplanes are flying around. So I think it's a nice thing that not every city has, and it's worth supporting. Absolutely.
Okay. What would you most like to accomplish during your term?
I think I would like to give a more youthful influence on the city council. I think I would like to make sure that the city keeps going in the direction that it does. I think it's important to have sustainable growth of the city going forward, and I think city planning will be very important as far as what projects get influenced and endorsed, and to allow the city not to get overgrown or overtax the infrastructure going forward. But really, I think it's a great place to be. I think kind of keeping things going in that direction would be my goal over the next 4 years.
Okay. Last question. What is your long-term vision for Lee Summit?
I see my long-term vision is to keep some of the charm of Lee Summit with some improvements in areas without it becoming a very crowded Johnson County-like place. I think this is a unique city, and its proximity to the metro makes it just a great place to be. I would love to see the schools keep thriving like they are, and to see sustainable growth all around.
Okay. Well, that lasted 15
Pretty quick.
minutes, so
Yeah.
you've got another 15 minutes. If there's anything you want to talk about, anything we didn't cover, circle back to any questions.
I'll say I'm nervous. I've never run for any sort of government position or anything like that before. I've really been inspired by being here. I think I've been really pleasantly surprised with the involvement of everybody from city staff and public safety and citizens and you guys. It's been a real treat going on your website and actually watching some of the other council members' interviews and school boards and stuff. So this has been a great experience, and really happy to be running and to be a part of this on any level.